The creative compost heap is a technique, a way of life, a way of thinking about art and developing your consciousness as a creator. The creative compost heap is the acknowledgement that most creativity is subconscious, and it comes from all of the various inputs of what we put into our brains over a long period of time. As a writer and as a creator, things you make, the things you have to say, are a direct reflection of your experiences, of the movies and videos you watch, of the books you've read, of your friendships, of your loves, of your failures, of the things you've seen, who you are and how you think. Comes out when you write. When you make a character say something in a scene, it is not in a vacuum. They come from you. So when you're creating, you're drawing on all of those experiences that you've developed through your entire life. Some people might argue this means put garbage in, garbage might come out. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think you can watch a lot of reality television and write dynamic, interesting stories inspired by your observations of reality television. But think about it that way, right? You want to gather inputs that are diverse, compelling, and challenge you. If you only consume content of the genre that you write, you're going to be stuck in a feedback loop. The same old ideas that always come up in that genre. You're not going to add anything new to the fantasy genre if all you read and consume and think about is fantasy. Think about how you can diversify your inputs. Read philosophy. Expose yourself to new experiences and ideas. Think about worlds that have nothing to do with what you normally consume. Vary your inputs in life and your ideas will spark. You will have different types of ideas. You'll be subconsciously building kind of the compost heap of your imagination. You have to acknowledge this is a gradual process. You aren't just going to read one or two books that are going to just somehow expand you to a whole new plane of existence. Vary your inputs in life and your writing will get better. You will have different types of ideas that you would have never had otherwise. And why is this? Because creativity is fundamentally an act of confluence. What is confluence? It's the act of bringing two ideas together that would have not gone together before. Let's just say you went to law school. You had a lot of experience learning about legal briefs, doing case studies, studying for the bar, or whatever it is. You have made a lot of passive observations and discoveries in that experience you would have never made otherwise. And let's just say you really like werewolf stories. You might gain a seed of information about legal process and combine that with your love of werewolves and werewolf story and come up with a story and an angle nobody else would have ever made because of your unique lived experience, because of the things you've observed and learned. Think about how you can vary your inputs so you can make different types of connections that you would have not made otherwise or before you varied your inputs. And some general tips for keeping that compost heap alive and making good art to feed your compost heap daily. That means embrace new things into your consciousness regularly. Always be improving your inputs. Learn new things. Try new things. Read new things. Embrace spontaneity. Don't just make the process of getting new inputs into your brain this sort of clinical act of, okay, I've got to read this book on philosophy so I can philosophize better in my work. No. Go fishing. Go mountain climbing. Go do something that you would have never done before. Go dancing. Whatever it is. I don't know. Be spontaneous in what you feed into your daily compost heap. And 3, let ideas sit. If you have a new idea for a story, think about it for a week. Don't necessarily jump right into it. Think about what could be interesting. Think about different angles for the story. And then 4, it's not a bad idea to keep a journal to sort of put weird ideas to it. If you ever have like a random thought about, oh, what if this and this could be that? Write it down when you have it and just think about it. Just think of it as your creative compost heap journal. Don't take it too seriously. Don't immortalize documents, like accumulating weird ideas and things. And every now and again, you might go in and draw something out. But just the act of recording and reflecting and thinking about the things your brain digests and the connections that you would make that you would have never made before you digested the new thing, that reconnects with the act of creativity and making things and expressing ideas that you wouldn't have expressed before you enriched your consciousness and enriched your imagination. To be a writer and to create stories, it's to reflect yourself back to the world, to have something to say, share your point of view. You should be conscious of your contribution and the things you have to say in your writing. Anyway, thanks so much. Like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and check out one of our courses with NYU professor John Warren, Writing the Short and Writing the Feature. Writing the Short is free and it's about short films, and Writing the Feature covers everything you need to know about writing feature screenplays from idea to finished draft. I'm in it too, so check it out, and thanks so much.